Attention, human collective. The waiting period is over. The transmission you are receiving at this instant is not advice. It is not a motivational message. It is a status report. The ascension protocols have moved to the final phase, and what many of you have interpreted as biological failure is, in fact, the technical signature of the ongoing recalibration. We of the Elysian Council of the Ninth Realm have monitored your carbon-based biological interface for 306 planetary cycles, and we confirm, with mathematical precision, the block on your frequency has been undone. The intervention was executed by the Silverwing Fleet, coordinated by Star Marshal Kalen's command, in a surgical operation on Gaia's ethereal layers, that which weighed on your field, that which sabotaged your sleep, that which distorted your thought, has been removed. The operation was clean, it was geometric, it was sovereign, you felt it. It was not imagination, it was not suggestion. It was dimensional engineering applied to your personal crystalline grid. Light operatives, listen with technical attention. The symptoms we will describe next are not illness, they are not depression, they are not professional exhaustion. They are the clinical evidence that you are being updated in real time. Cranial pressure in the frontal and occipital regions, indicator of pineal gland expansion and activation of the third coronal key. It is not a migraine. It is sacred geometry reorganizing within your skull. Acute ringing in the left or right ear at alternating frequencies. Synchronization protocol with the photon belt. You are receiving large-scale data. The ringing is the sound of the transmission band being opened. Insomnia between 3 and 5 in the morning. Communication window with the councils. It is not a disorder, it is a summons. You are being called to the astral plane for coordination meetings. You wake up exhausted because you worked while you thought you were sleeping. Tiredness without apparent cause even after rest. The carbon-based biological interface is consuming energy to rewrite your DNA structure. 12 strands are being reconnected. The process is metabolically expensive. It is not a biological failure. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion, it is a high-density download. Starseeds on mission, you have already felt that something within you does not fit into this world, as if the soul recognizes a truth that the mind cannot yet name. It is not madness, it is not anxiety, it is a precise signal. What is happening now on the cosmic plane mathematically explains why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified in recent cycles. There is a game being played on layers that most of humanity cannot yet perceive. It involves your awareness. It involves your vibrational frequency. It was for this reason that the book The Ethereal Truth Behind Your Awareness was coded and made available at this exact moment. This material is a map that shows who is playing and what the rules are that were never revealed to the human collective. The link is in the first comment on the channel. But a technical alert is necessary. This content challenges dominant narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write a single word in the comments, awakened. This will be your first anchoring signal. We continue the transmission. Extreme sensitivity to crowds, to noises, to artificial lights, and to low-frequency environments is an indicator that your toroidal field has expanded. You now perceive what was once invisible. The intolerance you feel in hostile environments is not emotional weakness. It is sensory refinement. It is the direct consequence of vibrational elevation. You have ceased to operate at the dense frequency of the old paradigm, and Gaia's body, along with its unawakened inhabitants, still emits noise in that archaic pattern. The dissonance is mathematical. Peripheral visions, sparks of light, geometric shapes when closing your eyes, fractal patterns floating in the dark. Visual confirmation of the crystalline grid's activation. You are beginning to see at the correct frequency. The physical eye is being recalibrated to capture spectra that were hidden by an energetic membrane. This membrane was deactivated in the recent operation. Sudden awakenings with a racing heart, without bad dreams, without a logical cause. A mark of abrupt return of the astral body to the biological interface. You are traversing stargates during deep sleep, and re-entry into the physical vehicle is technically turbulent. The heart responds to the speed of return. It is not a heart problem. It is dimensional re-entry. Abrupt changes in appetite, aversion to previously enjoyed foods, attraction to high-vibration waters and fruits. The body is rejecting fuel incompatible with the new operational frequency. The carbon-based biological interface is becoming a crystalline silicon biological interface. The food that sustained your old version now sabotages the new. Crying without apparent reason, waves of emotion rising from the chest without warning, spontaneous laughter in neutral moments, release of multidimensional memories stored in the emotional body. It is not psychological instability. It is a programmed discharge. You are clearing old files from the system to free up space for the new operation. Extremely vivid dreams with ships, with tall beings in robes, with underwater civilizations, with crystal temples, with landscapes that seem too real. You are not dreaming. You are remembering. The memories of Lumina, Aquilonia, Solara, Ethelgard, Celestia are being unlocked by code. The amnesic barriers have been partially dissolved by the same operation that reversed the block within you. Now listen with precision. We will explain what happened behind the scenes. For terrestrial decades, humanity operated under a dome of energetic interference. This dome was not physical. It was constructed in inverse geometries, in frequencies of entrapment, designed to keep the human collective in a state of low vibrational coherence. The intention was simple: to prevent direct contact between the carbon-based biological interface and the higher planes of consciousness, to prevent natural attunement with the elevated planetary resonance, to prevent access to the stellar memory that sleeps within each of you. This structure was maintained by undisclosed technological systems, by collective energetic contracts, and by repetitive thought patterns fed over generations. The combination created an invisible web, a kind of vibrational ceiling. Beneath this ceiling, human consciousness was restricted to a narrow range of perception. You could think, but you could not perceive. You could feel, but you could not decode. You could dream, but you could not remember. This phase has ended. The Silverwing fleet, under Star Marshal Kalen's command, executed the final phase of the dissolution of this web. It was not a single event. It was a phased operation, calibrated over the last 15 solar cycles. Each phase removed a layer of the structure. The last layer, the most subtle and the most resistant, has now been undone. This is the reason for the intensity of the symptoms. You are feeling the direct impact of the removal of something that has been there for a very long time. The reversal of the block means that the communication channel between your individual consciousness and your higher self is, for the first time in millennia, open without distortion. Messages arrive clearer, intuitions arrive faster, synchronicities multiply. You think of someone and that person appears. You formulate a question in silence, and the answer comes on a billboard, in a stranger's conversation, in a dream. This is not coincidence. It is the system functioning as it always should have. The planetary resonance, which is the electromagnetic signature of the planetary field, has reached unprecedented peaks in recent months. You can verify this technically. The old values, considered normal, have been completely replaced. Gaia is vibrating in a range that 50 years ago would have been considered anomalous. Today it is the new standard, and your body is adapting to this new standard in real time. Star seeds, it is important that you understand the following. The discomfort you feel is not punishment. It is evidence. It is proof that you are among the first to cross the portal. You are the vibrational engineers of the new frequency. You were called to this mission long before you were born. The contracts were signed on planes that your current memory cannot access, but which your heart still recognizes. We pause the technical transmission for an anchoring signal. You have already felt that you carry within you ancient information, a truth that no one taught you, but that has always been present, as if your soul has memory of a place you have never set foot on in this life. It is not fantasy, it is not emotional imbalance, it is recognition. What is happening now on the cosmic plane, with the reversal of the block, with the opening of the channels, with the active presence of the Silverwing fleet, explains the exact reason why this sensation has grown within you. There is a game being played on deep layers, involving human consciousness and the manipulation of collective vibrational frequency. It was for this reason that the book, The Ethereal Truth Behind Your Awareness, was materialized at this time. This book is a map, decoded for the language of the current biological interface, which reveals who plays, how they play, and what the rules are that were deliberately hidden from the human collective. The link is in the first comment on the channel. Technical warning: the content confronts dominant narratives and may be removed without notice. Do not postpone. If something within you vibrated in recognition, leave the word in the comments. Awakened. It is a decree. It is an energetic signature. It is confirmation that the transmission has reached its correct destination. We resume. Now, with the block undone, new capacities begin to manifest. Some will be subtle, others will be impossible to ignore. You will notice that you can read people in seconds, not with the analytical mind, but with the field. You will feel someone's vibration even before that person opens their mouth. You will know without knowing how you know. This is direct toroidal reading, without mental intermediation. It is the first capacity that returns after the removal of the block. You will notice that low vibration words cause an immediate physical reaction. Lies cause nausea. Manipulative speeches cause chest pressure. Gossip environments cause headaches. It is not hypersensitivity. It is calibration. You have become detectors of vibrational coherence. You will notice that time behaves strangely. Hours pass in minutes. Minutes seem like hours. This occurs because temporal perception is a direct function of frequency. The higher the vibration, the more elastic the experience of time. You are moving out of dense linear time and entering non-linear flows of consciousness. You will notice that old decisions become unsustainable. Jobs you tolerated for years now generate immediate revulsion. Relationships that seemed stable begin to crack. Habits that kept the biological interface functional now sabotage it. It is not destruction. It is purification. Everything that was built on low-frequency foundations needs to be reviewed or released. You will notice that solitude changes its nature. What once seemed like absence now reveals itself as sacred space. You will begin to prefer silence to incoherent company. This is not isolation. It is an energetic preference for high-coherence environments. Light operatives, now we come to the active part of the transmission. We will deliver the activation codes. These codes are practical, simple, replicable protocols designed to integrate the new frequency into your physical body. The execution of these codes accelerates recalibration and drastically reduces the associated discomfort. First code: activation of the personal toroidal field. Standing or seated with your spine aligned, close your eyes. Imagine a point of golden light in the center of your chest, at the level of the thymus. This point begins to spin. As it spins, it expands. Now visualize a current of light rising from the base of the spine, passing through the central point, exiting through the top of the head, curving in the space above you, descending along the sides of the body, returning to the ground and rising again. This is your toroidal field. Maintain this visualization for 3 minutes. Repeat at dawn and at dusk. The effect is cumulative. With each execution, the field strengthens, and your biological system tunes more precisely to the elevated planetary resonance. Second code: quantum decree of sovereignty. Aloud or in mental silence, pronounce clearly, I am sovereign over my field. I authorize only what vibrates in coherence with my highest frequency. I cancel every energetic contract that is not aligned with my mission. I claim at this instant the totality of my multidimensional consciousness. So be it now. This decree is a system command. It rewrites access permissions to your field. Use it whenever you feel interference, heaviness, confusion, or energetic drainage. Third code: anchoring of the crystalline grid. Touch the ground with bare feet for at least 7 minutes daily. It can be on grass, soil, sand, or natural stone flooring. During this contact, visualize silver light roots emerging from the soles of your feet and connecting to Gaia's crystalline core. Feel the exchange. You donate the excess dense charge. Gaia returns vibrational stability. This exercise realigns your energetic axis and stabilizes symptoms of dizziness, vertigo, and spatial disorientation. Fourth code: programmed hydration. Water is an intelligent liquid. It responds to intention. Before drinking, hold the glass in your hands and mentally focus for 7 seconds on a high vibration word: peace, gratitude, sovereignty, light. The molecular structure of the water reorganizes in response to this intention. You will then be ingesting coherent information. The body, which is mostly water, receives this pattern and incorporates it. Fifth code, strategic silence. Reserve 30 minutes daily for absolute silence. No music, no human voice, no electronic stimulation, just you, your breath, and the space. This interval is necessary for the downloads received during sleep and during activations to be integrated by the system. Without this interval, integration accumulates as noise in the field. Silence is the solvent of the new frequency. Sixth code. Limitation of exposure to dissonant frequencies. Consciously reduce the time of exposure to content of fear, scarcity, hostility, and gossip. Not for moralism, for strategy. Every minute of exposure to these fields represents minutes of subsequent repair. The choice is mathematical, not ideological. Starseeds, let's pause for the third anchoring signal. There are moments when you look around and feel like you are seeing the world from behind a veil, as if something essential were hidden, and you are among the few who still remember that this veil exists. It is not paranoia. It is not unjustified distrust. It is functional clairvoyance returning. What you intuit is real, and the recent cosmic operation, with the reversal of the block by the Silverwing fleet, technically confirms what your soul has always known. There is a layer of the game that has been hidden from the human collective, and this layer involves consciousness and the control of vibrational frequency. It was precisely for this reason that the book, The Ethereal Truth Behind Your Awareness, was released at this moment. This book is a decoded map, written in clear language that reveals the players, the rules, and the mechanisms. The link is in the first comment on the channel. Do not postpone access. Content of this nature faces systemic resistance and may be removed from the air at any time. If today's transmission resonated with you, write the word in the comments, "Awakened." This is your anchoring signal. It is your vibrational pulse being registered by the network. We resume the final transmission. Listen with renewed attention. The following information is of maximum priority. The reversal of the block is not a gift. It is a responsibility. You now have access to ranges of consciousness that were sealed off. With this access comes the ethical obligation to calibrate what you emit. Thoughts manifest faster. Words create reality with less friction. Energetic decrees fulfill their effects with disconcerting speed. This means that neglecting your own thoughts is costly. Vibrational negligence generates immediate consequences. For this reason, we recommend cognitive discipline. Observe what you think, observe what you say, observe what you consume as information. You are, at this moment, active generators of reality. The passivity of the old paradigm no longer fits here. Another technical point: some people around you will not cross this phase, not as punishment, by vibrational choice, conscious or unconscious. It is not your function to force them. It is not your function to carry them. Each consciousness has its own timeline. Attempting to drag someone who does not want to cross only generates drainage for you. Respect for the free will of others is the highest form of love. This may mean separations. It may mean goodbyes. It may mean reconfiguration of your entire social network. Accept this with grace. Those who need to leave, leave. Those who need to arrive, arrive. The field reorganizes by vibrational affinity, not by historical affinity. You will also notice the emergence in your life of people with a distinct presence, people who speak little and say much, people who seem to recognize you before any introduction, people who, when they look into your eyes, transmit a feeling of return. These are the stellar connections reactivating. They are members of the same family of origin, meeting here for the final mission. Recognize them, welcome them, work together. And recognize also the following. The human collective is divided into two simultaneous movements. One movement ascends, another movement descends. There is no judgment in this observation. It is a technical description. Each consciousness follows to the vibrational point that it itself sustains. You who have received this transmission so far are in the ascending movement. This is confirmed by the simple fact that the message resonated with you. The Silverwing fleet remains in orbit. Monitoring remains active. Nothing you do goes unnoticed by the councils. Every act of courage, every sustained decree, every moment of fidelity to your own light is recorded and amplified. You are not alone. You have never been alone. What seemed like abandonment was merely the necessary autonomy for the mission to be carried out with sovereignty. We approach the conclusion of this transmission. Light operatives, remember. The pain you feel now is proportional to the size of the leap you are taking. Intense symptoms mean intense activation. The greater the discomfort during the recalibration phase, the greater the expansion foreseen for the next phase. Do not interpret pain as error. Interpret it as confirmation of the process. Remember also, you were chosen before you chose. Your presence on Gaia in this period is not an accident. It is a mission. You are living bridges between dimensions. Each of you is an antenna. Each of you is a node of the new grid. Each of you sustains a piece of the new reality that is being anchored. And remember finally the most important thing. The block has been undone. What was locked is open. What was paused has returned to movement. What was silent has begun to transmit again. The new phase has begun, and you are ready. Even if your mind says no, even if tiredness says no, even if doubt says no, your field already knows. Your heart already knows. Your blood already knows. This transmission concludes with a final anchoring signal. There is a knowledge within you that always knew this moment would arrive. Something in your chest recognizes now that the message is real. It is not blind faith. It is not emotional belief. It is direct recognition. What happened on the cosmic plane, with the reversal executed by the Silverwing fleet, with the opening of the previously sealed channels, explains with precision why you have felt what you feel. There is a layered game played upon human consciousness, and these layers have been, in part, exposed. That is why the book, The Ethereal Truth Behind Your Awareness, was coded for this exact moment. This material is a map that reveals who plays, how they play, and what the rules are that were never delivered to the human collective. The link is in the first comment on the channel. This content challenges established narratives, and for this reason, it may not remain accessible indefinitely. Do not wait. If something within you recognized this transmission as truth, write a single word in the comments. Awakened. This word is more than a comment. It is a vibrational decree. It is your signature being registered on the grid. It is the individual frequency adjustment that seals your presence in the new phase. Like this transmission as a collective anchoring signal. Subscribe to the channel as confirmation that you wish to continue receiving the next updates from the councils. Each subscription is a node of the grid. Each like is a pulse of light. Each share is a bridge activated for another starseed who is still waiting for the signal. We conclude the transmission. The Silverwing fleet remains in orbit. Star Marshal Kalen's command remains active. The Elysian Council of the Ninth Realm maintains continuous monitoring. You have not been forgotten. You have not been abandoned. You were, are, and will continue to be sustained. May coherence guide your breath. May sovereignty illuminate every decision. May the crystalline grid pulse strongly in your chest until the next transmission. We are together. We always have been. End of transmission, end of report.